nag-family planning din. Puro kalukuhan. Mura lang yan. Gisentimos, kailangan. Bakit to? Gis lang. Eh, sabihin mo sa asawa mo, ipitin yung gis ng kanyang tuhod. At ganun lang. Walang gagalaw.
Kaya Gisentimos.
Yung IUD, lagay mo nga sa tenga mo, parang ikaw. Tatawagin kita mamaya para makita na, hindi naman malaki yung IUD. Okay.
Okay ka naman.
Siyempre.
Bago pa nun eh. Bago pa nun ang IUD.
Sa pier kami panay
Bago pa
lalaki,
lang.
panay labor leader.
Ang tinutulungan niya.
Oo. Ang aming hinihit. ILO, International Labor Organization. You have to speak the language. Oo. Yung isang kapartner ko, dalaga. Mas magaling siya sa akin sa kasi nintindi niya yung theory at lahat, ako puro yung kalukuhan. It makes sense because Dr. Flavier wanted very much to introduce the concept in
Bago pa
relation
nun.
to yung nature. Oh. So
Bago
he
pa
says,
nun.
bakit ang suha hindi pinatutuloy lahat ang bunga? Mga 40 lang ang aanhin. Para may kalidad yung quality ng suha. Ganon din sa mga bata kasi yung nutrition. Tied up lahat yun. It was already doing good, but then again, there was a lot of protest from the church. Ako definitely more of a mom because I'm a fighter. My father is very, quiet, recessive, pasensya. She's very focused on attention for details. You need to have that when you do cakes and a lot of techniques. Very patient to get it done. It's only now I realize that it's difficult to be on the third on the line. Kasi exciting sa first. Ako, Lola's girl. Lorna was Mama's girl. June, where does she fit in? Well, boy was different because he was the first boy. Doon naman, Japanese time, so it was a time of, reacting to a crisis. Then comes Irene. Malaki ang difference namin. And finally, Bimbo. Si Bimbo was the surprise for Irene. She said, how come we have a baby? She thought she was the baby.
Yes.
I took care of Irene the most. Kasi I was high school, we had our grandma. So with our grandma and I sa Area 5. So we were the advanced pioneers sa Diliman. Because I was in high school and Lola and I and Irene and Papa, but Papa goes to Padre Faura family during the weekend. Weekdays I was with our actually she was a great grand aunt, a spinster. She was the one who raised my mom, Chubino, if you remember Chubino, and Chuibyo. She was a spinster, but very well known by the expats, the wives of the I think they were called the Thomasites, the American executives who came to the Philippines, but she was such a good dressmaker, couturier. Everything starts from her. She is a good cook. She would pinch you if you did it wrong. There is no recipe. You just watch what is being done, You learn by doing. Cooking?
Oh.
With the family, Chumaning, Mama, and she took up home economics.
Sila magaling magluto yung dalawa.
Sinuling magaling din magluto nung
Yung
araw.
first three, magaling sila magluto. Silang first three kasi, pag summer nun, ang mama, pinapabakasyon ng house help, ang kasambahay. Pinapauwi sa probinsya para magbakasyon. Silang tatlo, kaya magaling sila magluto. Kami ni Ate rin, hindi na kami nag-undergo noon. Hindi na kami, hindi namin dinanas yung mga dinanas nilang tatlo.
Kami ang nagkaroon ng hardship post.
Silang tatlo. Siguro lalo na silang dalawa.
Tsaka isang project nila nung sila'y lumalaki, si June, si Daisy, tsaka si Lorna, meron silang embroidery. Di ba? Meron kayong embroidery o sa mama lang yun?
Punda ng unan.
Punda ng unan.
Dapat magtatapos ka ng isang pares. Makatapos ka ng isang punda ng unan, o may bago kang damit.
Saka isang grade, isang subject in the line of one, bagong damit, one. Tapos disqualify niya lahat ng PE ko. Kasi lagi akong one dun.
Sino nagmama?
Oo, hindi naman daw academic yung ba. Lulugi eh. Straight lagi eh.
Sa PE ka?
Oo. Champion ako sa fencer. I led 500 men in the field on field day. Oh, yung kalaking
Galing na
Nelson
fencer,
Bilis, tagalit sa akin.
Ikaw, ano ka?
Bakit daw babae maglilid ng contingent?
Piko.
Ito
Super
si
need
Daisy.
si Bimbo.
Ito super kalat to si Daisy.
I have organized mess.
Oh, si Daisy super kalat yan.
Tinutulungan mo ba siya maging miss?
Naku, hindi na. Wala nang pag-asa yan.
Kasi kita Lorna.
Babalot-balot. O, tapos. Is na.
Petticoat time pa naman.
Petticoat time pa.
Sabi mo nga sa akin, pag binuksan ng cabinet,
Hulog na lahat.
nuglat na.
Pinakamagulo yan eh.
Eh, ikaw, paano tinatago petticoat mo? Meron ka din petticoat.
Meron, pero maayos. Oh, si Daisy yung pinakamagulo sa amin.
Mm.
Si Daisy. Tapos si Lorna. Hindi naman.
We had fun.
We had fun. Tsaka hindi naman stricto ang, ang lola mo eh. Lola at lolo mo.
But there were a lot of serenading. Vacation is summer of 1952. We were always being invited to be participants in the Santa Cruzan. And so my grandma was protesting. We better bring the girls to Diliman, bring them there. First year college, 1952. We all moved to Diliman. And we had a garden.
Oh.
Then
Kasi
yung
yung-
kapitbahay,
yung-
then si Reli Stanislao. It was very nice, idyllic existence. Because
Kasi ang mami nun nagkukuha ng mga bonggambil.
bougainville, roses.
Oh, tsaka
She had roses. And then
Pero mas
early in the
kanya-
morning, you would hear Aurelio Stanislao vocalizing, singing.
Mas
Because he was our neighbor. Very close family community.
Pang-anim ang cottage.
Yeah. Everybody knows everybody. Very close community. In fact, we had family movie every week. We had family dance every week. Then we had the monthly social. Kasi nga, very isolated. Diliman was very isolated. In fact, Quezon Boulevard Extension was still non-existent. It was in the process. In fact, the oblation was left behind because they could not move the oblation to move to Diliman. Kasi wala pang street na pagdadaanan. Una sa Santa Mesa muna, ang daan ng bus. Then later on through Spania Extension, Kamuning. Finally, the Quezon Boulevard Extension was opened, and that's when they had the parade for the move of the oblation to Diliman. Only 2 buildings were in existence at that time. Everything were concert houses. Everything talahib. Around the oval, you don't see trees. It's all open. Mainly talahib. The trees, few trees were in front of the College of Education, College of Law. All the rest, wala. Bowling, then they had a swimming pool. The concert houses left by the GIs. Classes were held in the concert houses. Only 2 buildings, then everything was going up. We were the second batch to occupy the College of Liberal Arts. Liberal Arts yung una, kaya everything was new. The library was already was open. Mama decides, Mama wanted to be I think a librarian. So she said, you become a librarian. Yeah, because she said it's very easy to get a job. Plus she loves books, she loves to read. And so Lorna was programmed to become a nurse. Although at that time, being a nurse was, people were saying, oh, you will just wipe the butt of people and all that. But then Papa was insistent because he said there would be a very big demand for nursing. So June, Mama decides home economics. So no choice or whatsoever. They tell you where you go, in what field, okay? And then Horacio, of course, went into geology. That's Papa's choice. Don, Mama said, Don is our full pay brother, meaning we all were on the tuition-free scholarship of UP employees, provided there is no red mark. You don't get a 4 or a 5. And Don, unfortunately, gets a 4 or a 5, and Mama would always justify. You have to understand Don. He is very good in dancing. His head is on his feet. And he is like that because he is the most undernourished baby I had, because he was conceived during the Japanese time. So Mama was always defending Don's academic problems. And then Irene, of course, again, the College of Nursing started operating. So instead of just the school, Papa and Mama decided she should go for the more professional one, which is College of Nursing, that was newly opened. Bimbo, again, Mama wanted, Bimbo wanted to be a dentist. That was her dream, to be a dentist. But Mama is so prejudiced. She said, oh, a lot of Chinese students will court you in the College of Dentistry. And so she said, no, you go for librarianship also, because I easily got a job. A day after graduation, I was a full-time employee with the UP main library. Just after liberation, Papa was helping yung save the records, student records, kasi importante yon sa kanya yung ano. He was on leave. So that's when we set up the restaurant in Padre Faura, which was very heavily patronized by doctors. That's where I learned how to cook, because after operation, mga 10 o'clock, there were no restaurants there. Mga doktor, gutom. Walang kakaanan. So they will knock. So I have to do Mama was sleeping or ano, I help chapitring, do the short orders. So, master ko na yung pansit tsaka chop suey. Tsaka yung, at that time, you can have this Chinese ducks duck's legs.
Mm.
Piprito mo lang yun. Ang sarap-sarap nun.
Mm.
Ayun. And then, so, 1948, 49 yun. 49, lumipat ang UP dito.
Mm.
Papa was still not with the university. Not yet. But he decided to go to Padre Diliman, open a store.
Mm.
Open a store. So he opened a restaurant with Chumaneng. I was with him, Chumaneng and Lola. So weekender siya sa Padre Faura. Tapos noon, I think it was 1950-51. Short lang yung restaurant na yun. Dean Fonacier asked him to go back to the service of UP. So he decided to close the restaurant.
Para full-time siya.
Oo. And apply for a cottage.
Oo.
Noon, they were encouraging people to move into the campus. Isa lang ang bus eh. We moved to a cottage, yun ng Area 5. We had lodgers.
Mm.
Kasi walang magluluto na sa amin noon. Ang Chumaneng went back to private, sa Balyason. Meanwhile, the store in Padre Faura had to close.
Mm.
Because the hospital, once the place where the store was vacated na.
Mm.
Kasi tapos na yung liberation ng ano. So they set up the store, yung remnants ng store sa Pandakan. Oo. So, pagdating sa Pandakan, that was when, so they were there in Pandakan in 51-52. I graduated from, we had vacation. Maraming naghaharana. Kasi dalaga kami ni Noning noon eh. Galit na galit yung lola namin. Sa nanghaharana, at saka nag-iimbita na Santa Elena, yung ganun. My grandmother wouldn't want anything to do with it. So sabi niya, Vicente, dalhin mo na lahat yan sa Diliman. So that's when school year 52-53, I was first year college. But Papa had a store also, 1949. Kasama nga yan si Rodix, tsaka yung Little Quiapo sa likuran. Sa likod namin yung Little Quiapo eh. Varsity Cafe yung una. Tapos, you refer it as Bobis Place yata.
Original Little Quiapo sa loob ng campus?
Yeah! Likod nung, ito yung ito yung restaurant namin dito. Sa tapat ng swimming pool.
Okay.
Kaharela nung swimming pool,
Oo.
across the street,
Oo.
where the UP Chapel is now.
Oo.
That's where the Rose of Little Quiapo, yung kaharera namin yung Rodix eh.
Oo.
There were 3 restaurants. When UP moved to Diliman, 1949.
Dito na sa Diliman yun.
Yung
Akala ko sa Padre Faura.
meron sa Padre Faura, nagkaroon din ng dito. Nag-open din ng restaurant ang Papa, panay naman lista. Ang Papa mabait eh. Lista yung estudyante. Wala. Ano lang, yung restaurant lang.
Doon na siya kumikita pero he was still helping out sa pag-ayos ng records.
Recovery, yes.
Talagang
dedicated yan. Galit na galit ang mama kasi may mga sniper pa eh. Sa ilalim ng mga buildings.
Okay.
They were retrieving records.
Oo. It was all volunteer work. And how long was that?
Hindi naman matagal. Kasi in the first place, burned.
Okay.
There was a lot of burning sa
And he wasn't the only one amongst the staff?
No, maraming
sila.
dedicated
Oo.
sa ng UP.
Oo.
Very close community.
Kasi si Ate Daisy, pattern ni Ate Daisy yan na dumadaan siya for dinner. Halos dito nga siya nagdi-dinner eh, sa amin.
Kasi nagagalit ang mama pag walang kasalo.
Oo.
Ayaw niya ng walang kasalo.
Kaya dumadaan lagi si Ate Daisy. Kahit si Ate Daisy ibang bahay, parang hindi naman namin na-feel na nasa ibang bahay siya kasi halos araw-araw, nung nandito sa village, nung wala nga kahit bata sila Joy, ganun din. Idideposito sa umaga sila Joy, kukunin sa gabi. Ganun ang pattern. Kaya parang kasama namin sila while growing up sila Joy. Kaya ano...
Kumbaga talaga isang malaking
Oo,
family talaga.
oo. Tapos pag summer nga, may mga sleepovers pa. Kaya hindi namin na-feel yun masyado na...
Wala na ako doon sa kanila eh.
Wala na.
Oo.
Solo na yun.
Oo.